Well, hello. I think you can see me. Hello, we're live. We are definitely live. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. Is that a little better? Maybe that way. That way, like that. A little better. It looks good. I don't think it's too dark, is it? Well, even if it is, that's all right. Let me get this situated. Getting it better. Getting it better. Getting good on it. Alrighty. Let me share this with X or Twitter, as they like to say. Here we go, Twitter. Twitter post. All right. And then we're going to go back to closing this off. Oh, there it is. There's that noise that we love so much. Anyway, let me lift this up a little bit. How's that look? Better? I think so. Anyway, let me do this real quick. Okay. YouTube. I think that's. Oh, yeah. Excuse me a moment. Let me turn this down so we don't catch the. I don't know what they call it. I forgot what they call it. All right. So we're live. Thank God. I can see myself on there a little bit. Anyway, good evening. Glad to see you all. Let's see here. Hopefully they get on there. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. God bless. Let me see here. Oh, hopefully it doesn't. Oops. Share in a group. All right. Revival. In a group. Prayer room. In a group. Oh, I can do it all at once. That's cool. And then news feed, right? Yeah, share the feed. Wait a minute. In a group. Revival. Jeez. Prayer room. And then, okay, that one. All right. Now we'll hit next. Share. I lost a lot of friends. Not really. I mean, what is a friend, right? What is a friend? Let's see. Let me do one more share. No, I won't. Okay. Anyway, good evening. Um, we ceased from the talking with the John part about the lady by the well. I hope you all enjoyed that. Like I said, you can make comments in the comment section. You can share that if you want, if you desire. Good evening. How's everything going? I'm still working on my art. So it's going to be about $6,000 when I'm done. About there, I think. How's the lighting look? If the lighting's too dark, let me know. I'll brighten it up a little more. Anyway, I'm here. Just tell you. Don't work today. Today's my day off. I got my day off finally. Enjoying that. Pretty warm too. I'm shocked. I'm pretty darn shocked. You know, it's pretty darn warm. I don't know how cold it is outside. No idea. I can start practicing my guitar. Anyway, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. No idea. Because I don't want to say it's complex. It's just all this stuff that's going on today. There's a lot going on. I mean, a lot. A lot. And, excuse me. Just crazy. Back and forth. You know, this one's saying this one, that one's saying that one. I'm talking about in the realm of the world. You know. And we do have hope in what God has given to us, you know. And like I told you before, don't know who God is. Have no idea. You know, not that I don't want to, because I do want to. I mean, I want to, know who He is. I think Paul wrote that. I believe it was Ephesians. To know Him, the power of His resurrection, His sufferings. You know, I mean, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because again, and I've shared this before, and I'll say it again and again. I don't do anything for myself. I really don't. You know, and I share this a little bit, maybe too much. I don't know, but I am just totally amazed by how, when I look back on things, how I'm guided, if you will, and and how I have no power over it. I don't. I mean, my power, honestly, my power. If it was in my realm, I'd have $1 million in the bank. I'd have a beautiful home, beautiful car, vacation, fly to France, things like that. That's what my idea would be. That's what mine would be, 100%. And of course, the other side says, well, maybe you didn't do this right, or maybe you didn't. Looks like one side of my face is kind of dark. Is that better? I think it's a little. Okay, there we go. A little better. Instead of looking like a like what do they call that? Um, One of those sinister guys. I changed my computer a little bit, so maybe the lighting's a little different. But anyway, um, like sitting here right now before you, attempting to share truth with you. You know, um, like I said, I don't know where to start. No idea. None. If you guys ever want to talk about something, post it in the comments, and we'll talk about it, whatever it is. Anyway, like I said, I'm just shocked. I'm sitting comfortable. I'm sitting pretty darn comfortable. I really am. Yesterday when I got off work, I shared the rest of that Luke one, or excuse me, John one about the lady by the well. But coming home from work, I walked. It takes me about 35, 45 minutes to get here, to get to my spot, and it's a long walk. And I really don't think it's a long walk because I've walked a lot. Like I said, when I first met my wife, um, we walked a long ways. And to me, it wasn't long. It really wasn't. It's funny because one of my coworkers, she was driving me home. She goes, "My God, that's a long ways." And I'm thinking, no, it's not. It really, really isn't. I'm used to this. I love walking. Like tomorrow, I got to go do laundry, and I have the option to catch the bus and ride, but I'm going to walk there. You burn calories, you know. You burn calories when you walk. You get exercise when you walk. It's a good exercise, walking. Anyway, and so, just to give you a little excerpt into what I mean by I have no power, I applied everywhere you can think of to get a job, big time. I applied here, I applied there, I applied there, I applied there, and had nothing. I mean, nothing. And at the time, because I didn't have a residence, people don't want to call up someone that doesn't have a residence. If I had a business and they didn't have a residence, I'd be like, I would not. Not that I would not pick them, but if someone had a residence, I'd choose someone with a residence over someone that didn't. Because of course my mindset would say, well, their life must be messed up. They don't know what they're doing if they don't have a place to stay. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so I'm with this guy. Used to be a friend. He's too much. Anyway, we're walking, and I think he had a couple of dollars on him. I had a couple of dollars. We went to the dollar store to get a couple of things to eat at the dollar store. Dollar Tree. Was it? Yeah, Dollar Tree. And it's in this place that we used to frequent a lot, me and my other friend. It was called, it was a grocery store. We used to go there a lot. We did. What the heck was that grocery store called? I don't even remember now. But anyway, they turned it into something else. It's a big lot. It's a bunch of other stores. Well, a Ross was opening up, a Ross store. And I'm really, at that time, this is probably August, end of August, hot. And I'm at the end of myself because I've been trying everywhere and I'm not getting calls back and I'm not getting anyone to, you know, get me into an interview to get a job. So I look up as we're going to this dollar and I seen it said Ross coming soon, now hiring. I said, oh crap. So I looked on the thing and I applied. And I was so out of it with getting turned down or not even getting responses. I applied at Taco Time. I applied at freaking McDonald's. That gives you an idea of how desperate I was. Anyway, finally had it and I looked up and I applied. I didn't expect no call back. But at least I was trying, you know. And like I said, I didn't even fill it out. I didn't put no references. I didn't put nothing. I just put my name, you know, and then that was it. And my phone number. And I got a call. I think it was 2 weeks later, I got a call. And this lady called me up and she said, I'm from Ross. My name is Tori Grace. And would you come in for an interview? I said, yeah. Well, can you come in tomorrow? I'll be there. So I went to the interview. And she talked to me. We talked, you know, and I get an interview. That's me. I get in an interview. I get a job, period. I get an interview. I get the job. That's all there is to it. And so went there and thank you, Lord. But anyway, I ended up getting the job. And I busted my tail, you know, slowly transitioning, you know, and I was shocked. You know, because, you know, the job's still here. I still got the job. You know, that was in the middle of September when I got that job. Here it is, what, almost March, and I still have my job, you know, busting my tail, you know. Anyway, and again, being able to pay my rent, being able to pay my lights, you know, it's I appreciate it. I do. I really, really, really do. Anyway, I got furniture. I didn't pay a dime for any of the furniture I have. I didn't. A lady asked me if I'd help her move. I helped her move. She gave me the furniture, you know. And basically, I mean, really nice furniture too. My bed's pretty cool. I could probably switch the computer around and show it to you. I won't because I got the setup and stuff. Anyway, um, I got a couch. I got coffee table, end tables, recliner, another chair to sit in, another chair, a coffee table, a kitchen table, chairs for the kitchen table, dishes, you know, just random folks that, like, even like I told you, this computer chair, you know, it's not the best, but it's cool. I can lean back, relax, if you will. Anyway, and I'm appreciative of it. I got a guitar, I got uh, art, beads, got this lamp that I purchased, this light right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's one of those kind that you can magnify with. I don't know if you can tell, but here's the where you open it up. That's a magnifier in there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's the light I got, and that's the light I'm dealing with right now. You know, that's what that is. That's that light. You know. Anyway, and I'm appreciative of it. I bought that for $9 at Goodwill, and I looked online. It's $89. You know, I like bargains. You know, I got a bunch of clothes. I didn't have anything. I mean, I didn't, and I am appreciative. And I can sit here at this desk that I got for free. That noise you hear, that's my desk. And it's in my room, and I can sit here and work on my art, and you know. And anyway, I'm appreciative. I'm very, very appreciative of these things. You know, and like I said, I had no power over it. I had no. It wasn't any of my doing. It wasn't any of my, you know, my stuff, if you will. None of that. You know what I mean? None of that. Anyway, um, anyway, whew. So getting back to this now, and like I said, you know, and it's shocking. Like I said, it's shocking to me because I've seen some things. I have, in being around church, being around Christians, being around um, church, you know, being around church, I have seen some things. I've heard things. I've seen things. I have. I really, really have. And I thought that's how I got to know God or how I knew God, and that's not the case. That's not the case. I remember. Anyway. Um, so I was talking yesterday about the lady by the well, and I wanted to get into in-depth detail, and it's kind of weird. I'm going to say it to you straight up. It's kind of weird. That's why the foundation that God gave us is so powerful. Okay, that's why it's so powerful. Okay, because when you look at it, random things, random stuff, random stories, random history, random, and most people function by the pain they've been through, which is really silly. To blame God for stuff, to blame situations for stuff. You know what I mean? Um, anyway. There's so much out there. I mean, there is a lot out there. There is so much out there. I'm reading Jeremiah right now, and Jeremiah does. Anyway, let me get back to this now. Okay, so the foundation that everything is built upon, because I wanted to deal with that. The foundation that God has given us, you know, that everything is built upon. It's funny because when I was a kid, I always thought Job was the center of the Bible. I always thought that. I always thought that Job, honestly, and it's funny because when I was a kid, I never read Job, but let me look at it. Give me a second here. Um, like if you pop the Bible right in the middle there, right down the middle, boom, you'll hit Proverbs. Sometimes. Sometimes if you do it again, you'll hit Psalms. But right before those two is Job. Let me get my readers on. Right before you hit those two is Job. You know, and I experienced this when I was younger. I think it was when I was 27, maybe 29, 29, maybe 27, 29, 20, I don't know, one of those ages. But, you go to Job. Job is, I mean, if you take the New Testament out, Job would probably be the middle of the Old Testament, probably. I don't know. Let me look. Let's have a look. See. Uh, okay, there we go. Maybe not. No, it's not. Well, kinda. There it is, split. Looks like it might be. Yeah. So Job, you know, I read this. I read it, and it deals with us. It deals with religion. It deals with ideas. It deals with everything you can think of. I know, because all of us, even me included, hearing the story of Job, it's like, okay, when you have down points in your life, when you're basically broken in your life, there's Job. Whatever bad situations you go through, well, there's Job. Whatever bad circumstances are going on, there's Job. You know, you could probably learn a lot from. I'm hearing some kind of ring. Anyway, you can learn a lot from him because if you compare what you're going through to what he went through, you know, uh, you wouldn't feel so bad about yourself. Because he lost his children, he lost his fortune, he lost his health. Everything that we want to be okay, he lost. He basically lost it all. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, so I mean, we could probably in our lives, we could probably say, okay, I lost my health, and then leave it at that. That'd be bad enough. Or we could say I lost, my possessions and leave it like that, and that would be enough. We could say I lost my family. We could leave it like that, and that would be enough. That would be just enough. The pain that we would go through losing those things, you know, and you know, um, to have his children just die. You know what I mean? And I done that too. I done it too. I used to think, wow, God, why are you so mean? I see it. I'm on that X or Twitter or whatever it's called, and I can see how people just point out all the bad things they think about God. You know, all the, all the, you know, just the stuff they say. Like I remember this one person put on there and posted and said, what they say? They said, excuse me, give me a second. Oh yeah, they said that oh jeez, mind. Oh yeah, that God, destroys blah blah blah. And then I told him, I said, well, let me tell you something. I've seen parents rape their children. I haven't seen it, but I heard of it. Actually, that's another story. But anyway, I've seen them neglect them, make them hunger, beat them. So what are you saying? Parents do that without end. Like I told you about this little baby I heard. Thank God that little baby. So just to give you a idea of the prayers offered up for that baby. That baby, I seen the baby the other day. They're not beating that baby no more. Thank you, Lord. Like I said, if I would have heard it again, I would have called Child Protective Services, CPS. Anyway, um, so and again, and I want to say this big time. You know, the pain that we feel for whatever we lose, whatever it might be, whatever it is, and you could go through it. David lost Absalom. David lost his kingdom at one time. David lost his wife Michael, whatever her name is. You know, there's so much that could occur. Excuse me. That we could say, oh wow, this hurts. We could do that. We literally could do that. The thing is that looking at Job, and anyway, let me get back to this. Okay, let me get back to this. I did. I remember Kat, my wife, telling me, well, I don't agree with the story about and that's the hard thing about it, folks, because I always have an answer. I do, and I don't mean to. I don't want to be, well, okay, I'll tell you what it means. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But it's there and I can't deny it. So she tells me, she says, and I probably just should say a person told me. So I'll say it like that from now on. So this person told me that um, they didn't agree with the story about uh, Cain and Abel, because Cain, because you're told this. I know you're told this. Every Christian, every child of God is told this. You got to do your part. You gotta push through. You gotta trust no matter what. You gotta hold on no matter what. You know, and that's interesting. But when that occurs, then the power's on you. You know what I mean? Meaning you have a say in it. Meaning you have chips at the table. You have, you know, your pony, a horse in the race, as they say. You know what I mean? So you look at the story of Cain. Let me deal with that real quick. You look at the story of Cain and Abel, and Abel has sheep, and Abel offers up one of the sheep to God. Here's the funny thing. Here is the Funny thing about that, the law wasn't written yet. The law did not. The law did not apply because the law was not till Moses. Here's Cain and Abel. Here's Moses. So down the generations, then Moses shows up. Then the law. Not during Cain and Abel, but Abel offers up this lamb. You know. And Cain, now here's the thing about Cain, people don't realize. Let me actually go there. I'm going to go there for you. Let's go there real quick. Let's go there. Okay. I'll come back to Job in a minute. But let's go there. Excuse me. Genesis. Let's go to Genesis. Okay. Let's go to Genesis. All right. Chapter, I believe it's chapter 4. Chapter 4. Geez, these pages are stuck together. Okay, chapter 4. We'll start at verse 1. We'll start at verse 1. And here's what it says. And Adam knew his wife, and Adam knew Eve his wife, which means they had sexual intercourse with that. That's what that means. And she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Okay, which is true. And, it's crazy because when you look at it, this is the first pregnancy ever. Ever. Well, think about it this way. When people get pregnant today, if it's the first child they have, for them, it's the first pregnancy ever. But this is the first one ever, 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 ever. No doctors, no hospitals, no any of that. Imagine I was scared when babies have been born forever, but I was scared when I had my children. Well, when Cat bore them to me. Okay. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was a keeper of sheep. Notice, it didn't say handler of the sheep. It didn't say guider of the sheep. It said keeper. Keeper. That's wild, right? A shepherd, if you will. He kept the sheep. But Cain was a tiller of the ground. The reason that was so significant about him being a tiller of the ground, okay? Let's look at chapter 3, verse 17 of Genesis. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. The ground is cursed. The ground is cursed. And why is that so significant? Well, if you go still in Genesis and you look at, let's see here. Watch what it says here. So Genesis chapter 3, it says, God cursed the ground. You're going to love this. Watch. Oh yeah. Chapter 8, verse 21 of Genesis. So we just read in 3:17 where God cursed the ground. And the curse entails, you know, cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. So God cursed it. So it was hard. You think it's hard to work now. During the time of this curse, it was a lot harder to work. It was a lot harder to get something out of there because it said thistles and thorns shall it bring forth. So Cain, being a tiller of the ground, he was muscular. He was, bravado. Now watch. If you look at, and this is after the flood, Genesis chapter 8, and verse 21, it says, and the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. Now notice that. He said, I will not curse the ground. So the curse was lifted after um, the flood. But before the flood, during Cain and Abel's time, the ground is cursed. So, of course, the fruits of your labor, the fruits of what it is that you put your all into, of course, who doesn't want to see the old for that? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to get up? Right on, dude. You know? So there's Cain, and and now I'm going to give you something that we hardly see. Why was it that Cain wanted to do the vegetable thing? Okay, why is it that he wanted to, make something happen from that? Well, of course, Adam and Eve being the only witnesses of the Garden of Eden, the only ones that I witnessed what went on there, all that was going on in that realm, the beauty of it, if you will. They, would speak of it. Okay, here Abel goes, keeps the sheep. Cain, well, I'm going to do something for God. Since God, my parents talk about, honestly, I know you don't read that in there, but think about it. Because think about it. Everybody wants to get back to the Garden of Eden. I'm sorry, but that's not God's intention, folks. No. God's intention is not to bring us back to the Garden of Eden. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. But that was the idea. Well, since my parents talked about it, and you know, they were there and they tell us about it, and it's so beautiful. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make a wonderful, beautiful garden for God. You know, and there's Abel, little old sheep, nobody. Just taking care of sheep. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. So Cain brings something from the works of his self, his might, his strength, his know-how, his everything in that realm. Look what I have done. And here comes Abel with just sheep. Look at this. And Abel also brought of the firstlings of the flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. So here's what this person told me. Why is it God? And she said to me, she said, I don't understand why God will not have respect when Cain did his all for him. And that's the problem, see? That is the problem right there. And that's what God is taking us away from. I'll prove it to you in a second. Give me a second here. And, again, like I said, because we want to counter the wrongs with the rights, and you can't do that either. We want to make worth, if you will, the efforts that we put in to have some kind of gleaming something from it. You know, look what I have done. That's why it's so dangerous when I chose him. No, you did not choose him. Okay, I'll get to that, but let's deal with this first. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. Wow. And the person told me this. They said, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I mean, he's giving his all. He's doing everything he can. He's trying to make something happen. He's trying to just, he's doing something for him. Why did God not have respect for that? If you will. Where's my 2 cents? Well, let me show you why. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to give it to you right now, folks. So we're going to come back to Genesis. We're going to come back there. Okay. But first, we're going to go to Jeremiah. Okay. We're going to go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17. Verse 5. Jeremiah 17:5. of Jeremiah. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Let me read that again. I'm going to read it one more time. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Hello. Hello. Because trusting in man will only get you so far. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. And then you go and make his flesh his arm. And what does the arm do? Action. There's Cain. That's cursed. Hello. Hello. That's heavy. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it in a minute. Just give me a second. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Trusting in our own works, trusting in our own efforts, trusting in anything that comes from this. Period. Period. Why? For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh. Wow. Now you know why the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Herodians, all the denominations, if you will, at Jesus' time, did not see the good that was there with them. They couldn't see it. Why? Because they're trusting in themselves. Think about it, folks. When somebody asks you for something, the first thing you think of, how is this going to hurt me? How is this am I going to be lacking because of this? Looking out for numero uno. So when we do that, we cannot see when good cometh. Hello. See, and you think about that. Let me show you what I mean. A con man, there's nothing wrong with him. It's not his con that gets you. It's your greed that lets you get got. If you were content with what you have, no one could ever con you. Hello? That's why when I see all these people say, well, there's pedophiles. Okay, where's these parents that should be protecting these children? Hello. Well, we can't be there all the time. Then shut the hell up. Excuse me. I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean. Watch this. Shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, as in a salt land and not inhabited. There is the works of the flesh right there. Okay. There's the works of the flesh right there. That is the works of the flesh. I'm sorry. Your revivals you put on, your camp meetings you put on, I know somebody's going to get mad at me, and that's okay. That's all. Continue putting them on, and nothing ever happens. Oh, we got a little bit more money, and Kmart used to get money. Walmart gets money. Well, we got buildings. Yeah, Walmart's got buildings. Come on, think about it. Same old songs, same old words, same old baloney. Well, we got someone that gave their heart to the Lord. Remember when it says, you come past land and sea to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourself. I didn't say that. He did. Anyway, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm. Now watch this part. Okay, so that's Cain. Well, let's see what happened to Cain. Let's go there real quick and see what happened to Cain. All right, let's do that. Let's look at that verse again. Verse what time is it? Oh, we still got time. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth. What does that tell you? It showed his heart inside. It showed what he really is. It showed what's going down inside of there. Hello. Who really was he doing this for? Not God, himself. See, Abel offering up what he offered, he had nothing to do with making those. He had nothing to do with, that's all his. I'm not giving him anything anyway. It's all his. See? Hello. That's the danger. See, we think because we go to church, we get a little star or we get a little credit. We think because we believe in him, unlike the no good sinners, the no good lost, the Democrats, if you will, we're better than them. So we get a little credit. That's dangerous. There's your Cain. He was wroth, and his countenance fell. Hello. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't get praise for a job well done. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying people shouldn't acknowledge, when something is done. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying this by God's grace. When it comes to the things of God, hello, big difference. You see? It falls in line with Ananias and Sapphira in Acts chapter 5. Because they got found out. What's the wow, right? Come on. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And that's the thing about it, folks. The only one that really, really knows is God himself. Watch. So we look at that. Let's go back to Jeremiah 17. Now it's going to describe children of God. It's going to describe, born again children of God. Okay? Here's what it says. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. That's it. Blessed is the man who trusteth in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. You've heard that. It's in Psalms. It's in other verses too. And that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. Hello. Could care less. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Hello. Shall not be careful in the year of drought, and shall not cease from yielding fruit. Notice when it says yield. See, we translate that scripture in the New Testament, yield yourselves unto the Lord, as in us giving ourselves to him. No, that's not what that's saying. Like it says here, shall not cease from yielding fruit. Whatever's planted, that's what's going to be yielded. That's what that yielding means in the New Testament. Okay. Shall not cease from yielding fruit. Verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? There you go. Hello. Now watch this. I, the Lord, search the heart. So when he didn't have respect to Cain, he already knew. God already knew. And it produced exactly what was in his heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. I do that. Hello? So you see there, we see the end result. Watch this. Thou doest well, wilt thou not be accepted? If thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. Hello, the end result. Violence. See that? Now you get it. Nothing of the flesh. Even Paul says it. We have no confidence in the flesh. None of the works of the flesh. Let me prove it with Jesus. I'll give you a little scripture that Jesus gave us that deals with all that. John chapter 6. John chapter 6. 63. 663. 663. Of John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and there you go. The flesh profits nothing. Wow. That's one little story we can deal with right now. Anyway, we're going to stop there. It's already almost an hour, I think, 48 minutes, I think, something like that. Anyway, God bless. Thanks for joining in. A little short one tonight. That's okay. Like I said, if you have any questions, post them there and we'll deal with them. But until then, we'll probably do this again tomorrow night, maybe. I don't know yet. Bye.